Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com, and oh, I tell you, this is winter. This is what? This is Valentine's Day in 2022, and weather's beautiful, 50-some degrees here in Topeka, and for winter in February, you're doing good. And I've got a place here. Let Rex run around and breeze. Let's get over here out of the breeze. Probably affecting the sound. What I've been thinking. There for a while I was talking about insurance, and one of the things, when I first got insurance, I was let's see, what was I? I was probably 19 years old, and I had a Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I was paying $100 a month. And, you don't get sick 19 years old. Well, most people don't. At least I didn't. And so, I kept paying. I kept thinking, well, why am I paying for this? It's something that I'm not using. And so I finally said, okay, I'll use it. And so I ended up having a colonoscopy, and that used up the money, and then whatever I paid in, that took care of it. And I thought, okay, that's it, I'm out. So I felt like I got my money's worth, having colonoscopy, like I got my money's worth. So but anyway, and then and like I say, I use cash, and using cash means when you don't have it, you don't spend it. And then, so it ended up, I got my first credit card in the early 1990s. And I ended up buying a video camera. I was in photography at that time, and so I ordered this video camera, and then after I got it, I only had it for a couple, 2 or 3 weeks, and then the company wrote me back and they said to send it back. There's been a recall on it, and so then I sent it back, and then I called them to make sure they got it, and no answer. And then I called the police department and had them check the address, and they were closed, and so they were running a scam. And so then, oh man, I was pissed. It was like $2,000, and so I'm pissed, and so I'm gathering money together. I'm flying to New York City, and then I'll go in there, kick the door down, go inside there, get my camera, beat the hell out of anybody I have to, and then come on back. Simple enough. And then somebody told me, he said, well, when you use the credit card, and I go, yeah. And they said, well, don't worry about it, And I said, what do you mean don't worry about it? And they said, they're just going to take the charge off. And I said, well, you mean like just forget about it? Like they're not going to charge me for it? And they said, yeah, you don't have the product, so they're going to just take it off. And I thought, wow, how easy this is, So it saved me a trip to New York, and there was no way I was going to get my money back out of this thing. By the time you figure the expense to go over there, get a taxi, go over there, paying bail to get out of jail, and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it'd been a nightmare. But where's Rex? Yeah, Rex is still here. And so that saved me a lot of And I thought, wow, man, no wonder people use a credit card. And what I've what I've learned is people look for the easy way out on everything. And still now, very seldom I use a credit card. And like I say, the thing is, people do the simple thing. And, you know, and I thought it's simple using cash, you know. I mean, how simple can that be? I mean, you know, I don't get bills, and then I have to pay the bills, and, you know, I mean, just one thing after another. Using cash, you don't have to worry about it. And then if I don't have the money, well, then I don't have to worry about spending the money. And, but what I've learned is that's how people work. No wonder people have a hard time understanding when I talk about personal responsibility. I don't think people really know what personal responsibility is. It's effort. And I've had people, same thing, tell me, says, boy, you know, you do things the hard way, you know, and, you know, like, you know, riding a motorcycle. And, you know, I mean, it's work. It's difficult. But I mean, you have to. I mean, I thought it was funny because, you know, maybe I turn on my turning signal if I'm changing lanes or not. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know. You use all the limbs on your body, you know, both your arms, both your feet, you use to ride the motorcycle. And, you know, there's a lot of responsibility. Kind of like a car that uses a clutch. See how many cars got clutches anymore. That's one responsibility people don't want to take. And so, in other words, people avoid taking personal responsibility. I've had people tell me, said, Mike, all the problems that you have, you brought it all upon yourself. You know, you get caught in the jungles of Central America and a road somewhere, and all these thieves and bandits and stuff. You know, you brought this upon yourself. You know, yeah, that's part of taking personal responsibility. If I'm going to do something, it takes responsibility. I got to be prepared for it. And that's what my cousin, he's all the time wondering, why do I think so much? You know, well, you know, like I say, I'm getting ready for the motorcycle trip. And it takes preparation. You have to think. And, but he's done all this stuff before, so he doesn't have to do all this. Yeah, he does it for a week. They call it a vacation. And when you call it a vacation, normally it's planned where you're going, who's going to take care of you, where you're going to stay, and all this stuff. You know, but nobody's taking care of me. This is me on my own on a motorcycle. You know, so it takes some figuring. And, but it's odd that people don't really understand personal responsibility. You know, I was around using a handsaw, you know, like that kind of a saw, and I don't think people even use those anymore. You know, so, but that's what I'm saying. You know, if the machine doesn't do it, they're not going to do it. It's too much effort, and it's that effort is what you need to think about and prepare for. And I tell you, it takes some thinking, some getting your marbles together, and planning. And everything I do is like that. Everything I do. I mean, I don't go run off to a foreign country without planning. You know, there's a lot of things I can't go into detail planning, but there's a lot of things I know what to expect and what to, how to handle it, and I got to have the stuff to handle it. Now we're back to the gold and silver. You know, that's why I don't tell people what kind of gold and silver to get, because they need to find out what do they like. And what are they going to do with it? Are they doing it for an investment? Are they doing it like I use for bribing? Do you use it to enrich somebody's life? You know what I mean? There's a reason for all this stuff. And it takes planning, it takes thinking, and then it takes experience. You need to get out and do something. And that's what I'm saying. That's why, I mean, I was about a little sickly last year. And I stayed around here till summer. It was terrible, terrible, terrible. So what can you do? Get a motorcycle. You know, it's 60 miles an hour is not near so hot. Well, I know better than that too. It's hot. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be terrible. All of my motorcycle is going to be really rough. But you have to prepare. And when you're prepared, it's not near as rough. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.